Law enforcement fights crime in our neighborhoods. The eyes and ears of the community can prove vital in these efforts. Stay vigilant. Your tip could crack the next case. This is a KLFY Plus exclusive. Acadiana Crime Stoppers.
Welcome to this week's edition of Acadiana Crime Stoppers, a show which partners law enforcement and community to help solve and prevent crime on our streets. In this episode, we will cover the crime of the week parish by parish. We will also talk Lafayette Parish's Most Wanted with Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas. In addition, Major Mark LeBlanc and Sergeant Calvin Tidwell with the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office are here to talk about a missing persons case they need help solving. We begin in Acadia Parish, where authorities need help capturing the person responsible for the theft of industrial equipment. Sheriff K.P. Gibson has the crime of the week.
Detectives with the Acadia Parish Sheriff's Office are investigating the felony theft of industrial equipment that occurred in the 1800 block of Riverside Road in western Acadia Parish. This incident occurred between February 13th and 19th of 2026. Unknown suspects stole several transfer pumps, blue in color, a large water pump, and wiring from multiple electrical panels and utility poles. This loss is valued at over $100,000. If you have any information regarding this crime, you're urged to call the TIPS line 789-TIPS or download our P3 app on your mobile device to report your tip. All callers will remain anonymous and can receive up to a $1,000 cash reward for information leading to the arrest in this case. Be the difference. For Crime Stoppers of Acadia Parish, I'm Sheriff K.P. Gibson.
If you have any information on this crime, call Crime Stoppers at 789-TIPS. You could earn up to a $1,000 cash reward.
In Iberia Parish, the family of 18-year-old Joseph Lewis is still searching for answers 1 year after he was shot and killed on Mardi Gras night in New Iberia. News 10's Kai Price shares how his family is continuing their fight for justice.
Here on Crofton Street is where 18-year-old Joseph Lewis was shot and killed 1 year ago on Mardi Gras night. His family tells me while the pain remains, so does their love and his memory.
The absence, the emptiness, the loneliness, just the whole gambit of things. It's become really, really real. That he's not going to come back.
The Iberia Parish Sheriff's Office says Joseph was found dead after deputies responded to reports of gunshots on Mardi Gras night. 1 year later, no suspects or persons of interest have been identified. His parents say their family continues to lean on faith.
When God moves, he's going to move in such a way that our faith will be confirmed. That he has not forgotten us. He has not forgotten Joe, and also the people that's involved, he has not forgotten them.
His father has a message to those involved in his son's murder.
To those young men that's involved in this situation, your names have already been called. Your parents, it is a situation where it's just a matter of time.
The family says they appreciate investigators' efforts, but will not rest until justice is served.
I believe prayer changes things. We go out there and pray the heels on the ground that he laid on and ask our Father which is in heaven to bring us clarity, bring us the clues we need for this case so that we can, again, have justice for Joseph.
In Iberia Parish, Kai Price, KLFY News 10.
Authorities in Iberia Parish are also asking for your help locating another wanted suspect. Charlie Collins has an arrest warrant in connection with multiple copper thefts. On January 12, 2026, deputies say Bayou Companies, located at the 5200 block of Curtis Lane, reported the theft of copper wire from their yard. Deputies say the suspect stripped wire from an induction coil. The total value of the stolen copper and resulting damage is estimated at $250,000. If you have any information regarding the whereabouts of Charlie Collins, contact the Iberia Parish Sheriff's Office. You may also submit an anonymous tip through the Iberia Parish Sheriff's Office mobile app. In St. Landry Parish, Sheriff deputies are looking for clues on a 2022 missing persons case. In this Crime Stoppers report, what authorities know so far about Dion Declowet.
You're watching St. Landry Crime Stoppers.
Detective Sergeant Calvin Tidwell with the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office comes to Crime Stoppers and asks your assistance with a cold case missing person incident.
On February 19, 2022, deputies responded to a complaint that a vehicle being used by Dion DeCluitt was found abandoned on Anointing Drive. The family member went on to explain that she had information that her brother Dion was being put into the trunk of a car on Herman Street in Opelousas. Deputies went to the abandoned car, and Opelousas police were sent immediately to Herman Street. St. Landry detectives met Opelousas police officers on Herman Street, where officers searched the residence and the surrounding areas. A drone search of the areas of concern was also conducted with no results. As of this date, Dion DeCluitt is still considered missing. Contacts with area law enforcement agencies have been unable to provide any additional information as to Dion's whereabouts.
Should you or anyone you know have information on this or any other crime or incident, should contact the St. Landry Crime Stoppers. Use our QR code on your screen or tip using any mobile device by dialing *tips. Remember to download our P3 app and tap the app to say it here and submit your anonymous tips. On behalf of St. Landry Crime Stoppers Board, Detective Sergeant Calvin Tidwell, Sheriff Bobby J. Guitros, and the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office, thank you and have a blessed day.
If you have any information on this crime, call Crime Stoppers at 948-TIPS. You could earn up to a $2,500 cash reward.
Stay with us on Acadiana Crime Stopper. St. Landry Parish Sheriff detectives will be with us for an in-depth discussion on the Dion DeCluitt case. The St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office is also searching for a fugitive. Bernard Michael Gill is facing charges of felony theft. He has multiple addresses, including locations in Opelousas, Lafayette, Arnoldville, and Waller, Texas. Anyone with information on Gill's location is urged to call 948-TIPS. You can also submit a tip online at stlandrycrimestoppers.com. Lafayette Crime Stoppers and the Lafayette Police Department need your help identifying 2 women suspected of multiple counts of theft and identity theft by stolen credit cards. Police say the suspects went into salons and studios searching unattended women's purses and stole multiple credit cards. They later used them to purchase large amounts of gift cards in the area from Target and Lowe's. If you know the identity of the suspects, call Lafayette Crime Stoppers at 232-TIPS or download the P3-TIPS mobile app. Authorities in Lafayette are looking for some fugitives, of course, wanted for OWIs, domestic violence, among other offenses. And that's why we got the man with the plan here, Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas. As long as people are not showing up to court, you'll be showing up in our studio.
Yes, and that's what I do. One of the things we look for is that when we see people not showing up for court and we know that these people are local people and people that should have shown up, one of the things we do is we come on a show and we show the faces. You know, we've been getting so many calls and so many people are talking about this show. Mm-hmm. A lot of people talk about, you know, they see somebody, they might even contact that person and say, hey, I saw you on the show, you might want to contact them. So we're getting people coming in. I spoke to the judge just the other day and he said this has been the most people he see coming in, pretty much turning itself in since he has been on the bench, and he's been on the bench sometimes. So I just want people to know that this show does work, and that's why I come back every week.
Well, with that being said, we'll go right into it. So Rhanisha Woods, OWI first offense, 2 bench warrants for offense, and she failed to appear for a review hearing, and she didn't pay the fine either.
Yes, a lot of times we have people that just do not come to court, or a fine is assessed to them and they supposed to pay the fine and they just don't pay the fine. So when you don't have no communications with the court at all, this is what happens. A warrant, the judge put a warrant on you, then we start looking for you. You know, a lot of times we go knock on doors. A lot of people say, well, I know this person and where this person might live at. But when we go knock on the door, the person just don't come answer the door a lot of times. So we look for a person and then we put them up on here, and surprisingly, we get a call or they come into the station.
Well, Rhanisha, it's time to handle some business. Our next person here, Brandon Michael LeBlanc, OWI first offense committed in Lafayette, and he also failed to appear for arraignment. So you guys are looking for him for an OWI offense.
And I always talk about the first offense. You know, a lot of times some people say, well, it's the first offense. Well, it just take one time to injure or kill someone while drunk, driving, intoxicated. So what we want to do is if you did that, then you need to be responsible for yourself, and that needs to stop. But if there's no penalty for that, then you're going to do it again and again and again. And that's why when it's a first OWI, I want it to be your last. So that's why I put you up here.
Well, especially that he didn't show up to, for arraignment. He didn't show up to court.
Exactly.
So yes, first offense is bad enough, but he didn't show up to, I guess, like, face the music, sort of.
Yeah, and you have so many options when it's court time. What we do is they send you a subpoena. You make sure you sign off on the subpoena, so you're aware of the court date, and you just don't show up. And then even after court, a lot of times we try to contact you. You don't answer your phone. You don't show up. You don't come. We send officers out. You're not answering your door. And then again, this is where you wound up at.
Yep. Third person for this week, Lamonta Christopher Janu, OWI first offense committed in Lafayette, and he failed to appear for court as well.
I'd be glad one day when I could come here and have maybe 1 or 2 pictures, because that's all the people we have didn't show up for court, or people stopped driving drunk. But as we've been doing this show, it shows that it's not happening. Yeah. So we want to slow it up, and I think that doing something like this helps, and I think people think twice before they drive drunk. So this is what this show is about.
Exactly. Our last person for this week, April Ann Fisher, and recognize her. She's been a frequent guest on our show. I hate to say that, but domestic abuse battery, first offense committed in Lafayette, and 2 fugitive warrants for offenses.
Yeah, and what happened is the domestic violence. It's somebody that maybe did not come to court, or came to court and then did not pay the fine or whatever. But sometimes people repeatedly do the same thing, or have different crimes or whatever, and this is why you get up there. I always say one thing about a domestic abuse, that's somebody that lives next door to you. That's somebody that you probably know. So we're asking, if you know who this is, or if you see yourself up here, contact my office. Very easy to do. We work with people. It's not all about putting people in jail. It's about working with people and making sure that this does not happen again, and make sure that the penalties that the judge give you, you actually do. So that's why we have you on this show, and that's why we're looking for you.
And if you see yourself, come in. If you see someone and you want to turn them in, you can get involved. It's all anonymous, right?
That's it. And anonymous is the key. We get people that call and they don't want to give their information because they might live next door to the person. But you also don't want to see that person getting in a car driving drunk. You don't want to see that person having domestic violence issues. So you want that person maybe out of your neighborhood. Maybe the person, you want him to stop driving. So then you contact our agencies. Well, we don't ask you for your name. We don't ask you for any information. Where is the subject at? And we're on our way.
Well, you were on your way for this guy, Braylon Paul Daigle. The warrant has been cleared. So, and I don't know, maybe he turned himself in, maybe he cleared up his own business, but either way, his warrant is cleared and he's done.
And that's how easy it is. When we have warrant clear, we don't have the specifics of what took place, but your warrant is cleared, and I think that's all anybody needs to know. Whether you were arrested, whether you paid your fine, whether it was reset, it just shows that if we work together, we can have warrant cleared up there on everybody.
Well, and people need to know as well, because people may see you and see an older episode and think, well, this person is still a fugitive.
Exactly.
So that's why we put it up here, to make sure people know that the warrant is cleared for this person that has been on our show. And this is another one, Gabriel Brooks Jermaine Myrick. His warrant is cleared as well. He was a guest on our show prior.
Yes, and it's very important, when you put up there, everybody sees you and everybody say, oh, they're looking for the guy. Well, I want people to also see when a person take care of their business and do what they're supposed to do. I want people to see warrant cleared, that this person is no longer wanted. That means this person has handled their business, whether they can handle their business in so many different ways. But when you see warrant cleared, that means we have moved on. That means that person have moved on. And that means that that situation has been solved or came to some type of solution.
Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas, thank you so much for all the great work you do.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back.
This is a KLFY Plus exclusive, Acadiana Crime Stoppers.
Welcome back to Acadiana Crime Stoppers. We are here with Major Mark LeBlanc and Sergeant Calvin Tidwell with St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office. I appreciate both you guys being here today.
Thank you very much for having us. Again, this is a very important case that Detective Sergeant Tidwell has been working on tirelessly. It involves the disappearance of a young man from the St. Landry Parish area in 2022, initially reported as an abduction, with an immediate subsequent report of him being put in the trunk of a car in the northwest area of Opelousas. So it required an immediate response to 2 locations, multiple agencies involved.
Yeah, and I do want to say that we had you guys a few weeks ago talking about the Sandra Ann Burrs case, another missing persons case, and any tips from the public in these cases can really help, and that's why we love bringing you guys here to talk about these cases. Of course, we never need to forget the victims, so we need to highlight the victims of these crimes and also just ask the public if they have any tips, and that's why we love bringing you here to talk about these cases.
Thank you.
So what's the young man's name that
with the case and has been doing very recently some follow-up information on it.
Okay.
Dion DeCluitt went missing in early February, I'm gonna say mid-February of 2022. It was reported initially approximately 3:15 that afternoon that he had, was seen off of Anointing Drive. And they found his car that was rented by his aunt, that was rented from down here in Lafayette. And they found the car off of Anointing Drive at the end of it, and it was abandoned. The keys were still in the vehicle, but there was no sign of Dion. The mother reported that she had followed a white sedan to the Opelousas area on the south side, on the south end of it, and basically what had happened was she believed that she saw 2 people putting her son in the back of that car, that white sedan. At that point, several people were, 3 people took off running. 2 of them were apprehended. They were talked to, but didn't have any reason to believe that they were related to her son's disappearance at the time. The evidence has basically gone down to all of it circumstantial.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're working on at this point.
So the mother said that she saw her son being put into the trunk of this white sedan?
Yes.
And that white sedan, was it ever located?
The white sedan was located. It was searched by Opelousas Police Department, but there were no signs of Dion at all.
Okay. Now, would there be like any DNA in the trunk or anything like that if he was put in that trunk?
There should have been, yes.
Okay. Do you believe in the credibility of that report? Can you say that?
Not at this time, no, sir, I can't.
Okay, so kind of tell me where the investigation went after that. So you said you guys questioned the people that were running. They didn't have anything to do with Dion's disappearance. The car didn't have his DNA in it, so that was kind of a dead end. Where does it go from here?
The family reported Dion missing to Lafayette Police Department because he was last confirmed in Lafayette. Based off of their investigation, we determined that he was seen off in Eunice at approximately that night at about 10 p.m. And then after 10 p.m., we don't know what happened. We've had several things come up, but nothing has been confirmed. So that's kind of where we're at now. So that's what we're looking for, is any kind of help that we can get.
Are there any, of course you can't name them, but are there any suspects in the case that you guys are looking at?
There are several suspects, but again, all this is still circumstantial with trying to lock down phone numbers, call detail records, things like that. That's the part that we have to work out. And
did you find any sign of trouble, any motive that anyone would have to harm Dion?
No.
Okay. So what are you asking for the public, just to come forward and just help you get that break in the case?
Yes, any information. Again, no information is too small. The family just called me probably 3 weeks ago and asked if anything was new, and I advised them nothing has come through yet. But again, as certain tips come in, and we will look into all tips.
So just tell me about the family and how it's hurtful, how much they're in pain, not knowing either way, and just how I'm sure it's important for you to want to give closure to them, correct?
Right. As with anybody dealing with a family member that's missing, don't know what happened to him, it's going to always be in your mind, wondering what's going on, where is he at, is he okay? It's painful, very painful.
I can see that being worse than having a body and knowing what happened, because you're always wondering, is he still alive out there somewhere? Is he in good shape? Is he in bad shape?
Right.
It's just the unknown, and that just has to be tough to live with every day.
You're right.
So, well, what do you have to say about, or what would you say to the public about helping in this case?
Well, as always, any information is good information. It allows us the opportunity to try and vet it. Something insignificant to someone may mean a great deal to Detective Sergeant Tidwell and the advancement of the case. The opportunity for people to bring forward information anonymously is what St. Landry Crime Stoppers and the other area Crime Stoppers organizations are all about. Please reach out to one of them. Give them whatever information you can. Trust me when I tell you, it's absolutely anonymous. No one will ever know, and state law currently prevents anyone from any attempt at trying to discover the identity of someone submitting anonymous tips through the Crime Stopper programs.
Yeah, and that's what's so great about Crime Stoppers, because someone may be reluctant because they don't want to be involved, they don't want their name out there. They don't have to worry about that.
They don't.
Because you guys handle it anonymously.
That is correct. That is correct.
Can we put his picture up here one more time? I would like to show him one more time if we can do that. There he is. He needs justice. It's been 2 years now.
Nice looking young man. I can only imagine the agony the family is going through. Yeah. Not having answers is extremely, extremely painful. You know, I've had a family member that unfortunately died from suicide, and no one can figure out why, and I get it. It's not always meant for us to know. For the families looking for this young man, missing him, we want to bring them some relief. We want to bring them more than just, nobody knows what happened. We're not satisfied with that. We'll never be satisfied with that.
Yeah, well, we're all rooting for you guys to close this Dion Decloette case. Thank you both so much for joining us today, and hopefully someone from the public comes forward with a tip.
Thank you. And on behalf of Sheriff Guitros, means a lot having your group here present these, and it's not just with us, it's with every law enforcement entity that you host here. It means the world to those of us in this career, and I know it means a lot to the public at large.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for that. We'll be right back.
This is a KLFY Plus exclusive, Acadiana Crime Stoppers.
Investigators with the St. Martin Parish Sheriff's Office are asking for your help to find 2 wanted suspects. 48-year-old Freddie Hayes of Coteau Homes currently has 2 active warrants. He's facing multiple charges, including domestic abuse battery with a dangerous weapon with serious bodily harm and simple battery. He's also wanted for failing to appear for drug charges. Authorities say 26-year-old Kayla Granger of Brobridge currently has active warrants for assisting escape, obstruction of justice, and accessories after the fact. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Hayes or Granger, call St. Martin Crime Stoppers at 441-3030. Lafayette police are looking for a woman wanted in connection with a fight at a local apartment complex. Authorities are on the lookout for Renette Walden. Officers say she was involved in a physical fight on February 25th at West Park Apartments located at 105 Reading Avenue. If you know the whereabouts of Walden, call Lafayette Crime Stoppers at 232-TIPS.
This is a KLFY Plus exclusive, Acadiana Crime Stoppers.
Welcome back. Our partnership with law enforcement continues next week. Join us as we show you more wanted fugitives throughout Acadiana. Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas will be with us once again. We'll see what other suspects he is looking for. Also, a one-on-one conversation with Robin Green with the Lafayette Police Department. She'll tell us about a cold case they continue to investigate. We appreciate you tuning in to Acadiana Crime Stoppers exclusively on KLFY+. We will be back next week detailing the latest crimes to be solved and perps to bring to justice.